Hello, good morning everybody. Today I am going to teach you examination of ear along with equipments and instruments required in the ear examination. So let's start this lecture. So Karn Pariksha, that is examination of ear. Here you can see auricle or pinna. It's a different part as I told you yesterday. An ear examination is a thorough evaluation of ears that is done to screen for ear problems such as, तो इसमें इसकी evaluation करते हैं to screen ear problems जो कि निम्नलिखित हो सकती हैं: hearing loss, ear pain, also known as otalgia, discharge from the ear, vertigo, lumps. ये जो सिम्टम्स और साइंस है इनको हम डिफरेंट डिजीजेस में डिस्क्राइब करेंगे या थॉरली स्टडी करेंगे. Then foreign body in the ear, deformity of the ear, swelling of the ear, tinnitus, meanings ringing sound in the ear, itching, an ear examination can detect problems in the ear canal, eardrum and the middle ear, such as infection, excessive earwax, or an object like a bean or a bead. So infection, earwax या foreign body in ear का examination हम कर सकते हैं. The detailed history regarding these problems concerning onset, progression and severity should be done. तो किसी प्रॉब्लम का ऑनसेट कैसे हुआ है, उसका प्रोग्रेशन कैसे हुआ है और वो कितना सीवियर है, इसकी डिटेल हिस्ट्री हमें लेनी पड़ती है. An ear examination may be done as part of routine physical examination to screen babies and children for hearing loss, to determine the cause of certain symptoms such as earache, a feeling of pressure or fullness in the ear, or hearing loss. तो ये एग्जामिनेशन का जो ये एम्स ये रहते हैं. इसके अतिरिक्त और जो गोल्स रहते हैं ये एग्जामिनेशन के वो है टू चेक फॉर एक्सेस wax buildup or an object in the ear canal, to find the location of an ear infection. The infection may involve only the external ear canal, meaning otitis externa, or the middle ear behind the eardrum, that is otitis media, and to monitor the effectiveness of treatment for an ear problem. Then coming to physical examination, it includes pinna and surrounding area. It includes examination through inspection, palpation, first inspection. Following points must be noted under it: size, shape, redness, swelling, vesicles, scars, ulceration, neoplasm. Area above, in front, below, and behind the pinna should be examined. Then second, palpation. It is performed to know about raised temperature, thickness, fluctuation, tenderness. Presence of any among these is a feature of some pathology. Then second is examination of the external acoustic meters or ear canal. It should be done without speculum and then with speculum of appropriate size. Every person's ear canal differs in shape, size, and color. Normally, the canal is skin colored and has small spheres. Yellowish brown earwax may be present, secreted from ceruminous glands. Abnormal findings regarding the ear canal may be due to external ear infection. Pain may be felt when the outer ear is pulled. Ear canal may be red, swollen, tender, or filled with pus. Then coming on to examination of tympanic membrane. The tympanic membrane is shiny pearly white in color. Light reflex is seen in the anterior-inferior quadrant in case normal tympanic membrane. Pathological signs present in tympanic membrane include a dull or absent light reflex from the tympanic membrane may be a sign of middle ear infection or fluid. It may be red or bulging if there is an infection. Amber liquid or bubbles behind the eardrum are often seen if fluid collects in the middle ear. Tympanic membrane should be examined regarding its position, mobility, surface to find any related abnormality. Then coming to examination of middle ear. As we all know, the middle ear includes middle ear, trachea tube, and mustard antrum and ear cells, which is known as middle ear cleft. So for examination of middle ear, it can be viewed only when tympanic membrane is semi-transparent. In the presence of perforation, condition of middle ear mucosa can be known. Then next is examination of the trachea tube. Tympanic orifice of a trachea tube can be visualized in the presence of perforation of tympanic membrane. Pharyngeal opening of a trachea tube can be visualized by posterior endoscopy. To test the function of a trachea tube, Valsalva maneuver is performed. Then fifth point is examination of mastoid. Mastoid surface is felt as irregular on palpation. The irregularities are ironed out and surface is felt smooth in case of perosteal inflammation. Abnormalities such as swelling, scar, fistula, or funcus are looked for in case of mastoid. Then examination of facial nerve. It is essential to test for facial nerve in every case of ear disease, as paralysis of facial nerve may coexist with ear disease. So these were parts of different structure of examination of ear. Then coming to common oral in ear instruments, which is also in your syllabus. First is bullseye lamp. You have seen this in our OPD. Its features include it is source of light having 100-watt milky bulb and a convex lens, through which light passes to the mirror and is powerful source of light. उसमें 100 वाट का मिल्की बल्ब होता है और कन्वेक्स लेंस होता है और मिरर होता है और it is a powerful source of light. It is placed on the left level of left shoulder of the patient. ये एग्जामिनेशन आपने ओपीडी में देखा होगा जिसको मैंने दिखा रखा है. It can be tilted, rotated, raised or lowered as per the need. Second is head mirror. This is head mirror. इसके फीचर्स हैं. It consists of concave mirror. तो इसमें जो मिरर है वो concave mirror होता है with wing portion in the center are attached to the adjustable head band. Light is reflected from bullseye lamp on the part to be examined, either ear, nose or throat. Here we are discussing examination of ear. The focal length of mirror is 25 centimeter approximately. Examiner sees through the hole in the center of the mirror. Diameter of the head mirror is 89 mm and that of the central hole through which we see is 19 mm. Then next is otoscope. In this, source of light is present in the instrument itself. So no bulb or head mirror is required. Its features, it is handy battery operated device having a magnifying glass. Its uses are, it is used for detailed examination of the acoustic meters, tympanic membrane and middle ears. It is especially useful for examination of bedridden patients, children and infants. Then St. Clair satellite. This is St. Clair satellite picture. Its features are, it is an electric headlight which is handy and more useful. Its uses, it provides strong light for examination or for surgery. This Jobson Son Pro is featured. It is a slender probe made of malleable material and have serrated and a ringed end. Its uses: the serrated end is used as a cotton spot to clean the external auditory meters, while the ringed end is used to remove the wax. Then tuning forks. These are tuning forks. Its features are: it is a single device used for just testing the auditory functions of a person. Tuning forks of 120 Hz, 512 Hz, 1024 Hz, 2048 Hz, and 4056 Hz are available. Tuning fork having frequency of 512 Hz is the ideal instrument for these functions, as the frequency of it is same as that of the speech, and duration for which the sound is produced by a single strike is long enough to complete all the tests easily. Forks of lower frequencies causes overtones, and those of higher frequency have shorter decay time. Therefore, tuning fork having frequency of 512 Hz is used and ideal for the test. The oral speculum. Oral means ear. These are oral speculums. These the features. It is cone-shaped instrument available in various sizes to be suitable for different sizes of acoustic meters. Ear speculum with the largest size, which can be conveniently inserted into the ear canal, should be used. Its uses are to examine the external ear and the tympanic membrane during operations of the tympanic membrane, for assessment of damage to the middle ear contents in case tympanic membrane is destroyed. Then this is Split lamp. It is used to warm the laryngeal and posterior anoscopic mirror during their application for examination of larynx and posterior part of nasal cavity, respectively. So we have done the structural examination, instruments. Now next topic is functional examination. Functional examination of ear. It includes auditory function, vestibular function. First, coming to auditory function, it includes voice test, tuning fork tests, audiometric tests. So I have taught you this in OP classes, and here we are going through revision of these topics. Then first is voice test. This test is performed for assessment of hearing. It is performed from distance of 6 meters for conversational voice and whisper. Spondy words or number with letters are used by the examiner as he walks towards the patient gradually. This distance at which conversational and whispered voice are heard is measured. Then tuning fork tests. I've already explained that 512 Hz your tuning fork is used for most of the time. These tests are performed with tuning forks of different frequencies such as 128, 256, 512, 1024, and 4096 Hz. Namely the Rani test, Weber test, Absolute bone conduction test, that is ABC test, Bing test are the tests performed with tuning forks. Next is audiometric tests. The tests carried out through audiometry are accurate and reliable. Then vestibular function. It includes spontaneous nystagmus. Nystagmus means involuntarily oscillation of the eyes. The involuntary oscillatory movements of the eyeball is known as nystagmus. Vestibular test, positional tests. So these are under the vestibular function tests. First, coming to spontaneous nystagmus. It is an important feature in the evaluation of vestibular system. Then vestibular test. In this test, nystagmus is induced by producing pressure changes in external canal, which are then transmitted to the labyrinth. This test is performed using Siegel's pneumatic speculum. And the next is positional test. This test is useful in case of patients complain of vertigo in certain head position. Also known as Hellpike maneuver. It also helps to distinguish between peripheral and central lesion. Then lab investigations, which include these investigations are useful for diagnostic purpose and treatment. These include bacteriological culture when discharge is present, hematological tests, serological tests, thyroid function tests, autoantibodies and virus studies may be performed where indicated. Then radiography. Radiography is very useful for diagnostic purposes. For examination of ear, Townes view is taken for X-ray. Plain films of the temporal bone, tomography of temporal bone, and CT scan are very useful to establish the diagnosis. Then otoscopy. An otoscope is a handheld instrument with a tiny light and cone shaped attachment called an ear speculum. It is used to examine the ear canal. We have already studied it, the otoscope in the instruments. An otoscope allows the examiner to look into the external acoustic meters to see the tympanic membrane. Redness or fluid in the tympanic membrane can indicate an ear infection. Some otoscopes, known as pneumatic otoscopes, can deliver a small amount of air to the tympanic membrane to note its vibration, which is a normal condition. An ear examination with an otoscope can also detect the wax in the external acoustic meters or perforation of the tympanic membrane. The ears may also be examined if an ear infection is suspected due to fever, ear pain, or hearing loss. To examine a child, the head is slightly tilted towards the shoulder, opposite of the ear being examined. So the ear to be examined is pointing up. The examiner holds the ear lobe as the speculum is inserted into the ear and may adjust the position of otoscope to get a better view of the external acoustic meters and tympanic membrane. Both ears are usually examined even if there seems to be a problem with just one ear. The bones of middle ear can be seen pushing on the tympanic membrane like tent poles. The light from the otoscope will reflect off the surface of the tympanic membrane. An ear infection will cause the tympanic membrane to look red and swollen. In cases where the tympanic membrane has ruptured, there may be fluid draining from the middle ear. An examiner may also see scarring, retraction, or bulging of the tympanic membrane. No preparation is required before an ear examination with an otoscope. The ear speculum, which is inserted into the ear, is cleaned and sanitized before it is used. Speculums come in various sizes, and the examiners will exercise that is most comfortable for the patient's ear. If an ear infection is diagnosed, the patient may require treatment with antibiotics. If there is buildup of wax in the external acoustic meters, it may be raised or scraped out. So, thank you all very much for listening to this lecture. Uh, in this lecture, we have studied examination of ear, structural as well as functional examination, the instruments which are used for ear examinations. Uh, so I hope you have understood the topic. If you have any problem, you can discuss it with me anytime in the college or through my email or through phone. So this topic is important. Though it is easy, it is important from clinical as well as theoretical point of view. So go through it and learn it. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience during listening the topic. Thank you very much.